Good morning, our beautiful PIA family. My name is Ariel Rivera, and I am the PIA National President. Today, in honor of Veterans Day, I have the privilege and the honor of interviewing an insurance professional who not only is a leader in our industry, but who also served for our country. So, on behalf of every member and affiliate of the National Association of Professional Insurance Agents, we want to say thank you, veterans. Thank you for your service. We appreciate you, and I hope you enjoyed this interview. Well, good morning, everyone. I have the honor and the pleasure and the privilege to have with me today my good friend Brad McCreedy from the Hanover. Not only is Brad a great friend and a colleague, Brad is also a veteran. He served in the Navy, but he's also the chair of the PIA partnership, which is a partnership that groups different insurance companies from all over the country, and he shares that. And I am more than honored to have worked with him there. So, Brad, I'm a little bit biased now just because where I live in Jacksonville, all my neighbors are all
All
Navy.
Navy, all
All
Navy
Navy, it's
insurance.
Navy town, baby. So, but I love it, and I even have had the honor of doing change of command ceremonies with my neighbor, which is super honorable. You know me, I'm emotional, I'm a crier, so I go to those ceremonies, and I'm like, oh. It's a beautiful thing. But anyways, thank you so much for your service. I really wanted to say thank you on behalf of PIA and every insurance professional out there. Happy Veterans Day. And more importantly, we wanted to learn a little bit more about you and your military background.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Thank you for putting this together. So my military career started in 2001. I was a training pipeline for nuclear submarines, which is a year and a half of training. And then I was stationed on USS Columbus out in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. Made Westpac deployment to Japan, Guam, Korea, Western Pacific. Total 7 years of active duty, all things nuclear from the training through the operations. And then I finished up recruiting nuclear officers out of Chicago. So exciting time. As I a little bit older now and reflect on it, I tell people it was a great way to spend my 20s. Uh, for a farm kid from Rochester, New York, got experiences that I would have never dreamed about on a more traditional path.
Oh, I can see that. It's especially in the Navy, it's a little bit different when you get deployed and now you're living on this huge ship, right? Yeah, it's different, right? When you're there 6, 9 months, it's a little bit different in terms of the branch of the militaries. So I totally get it. But yeah, thank you for your service. Did you ever serve in were you ever stationed in Jacksonville or no? Mayport?
No, I've passed through.
Okay.
There are submarines based in Kings Bay, Georgia,
Okay.
right up the street, but
Okay.
never spent much time in Jacksonville.
Okay. So one of my neighbors, he is still a CEO, a commanding officer, and he specialized in nuclear, which was awesome. Of course, there's many things you guys can talk about, but the few that you're actually able to share are always great stories, which is amazing. So, but anyway, I wanted to ask you, Brad, from your military background, everything you learned in the Navy and serving our country, how has that helped you, become the great insurance professional you are today?
Yeah, I think the first and a little more superficial. I left active duty in 2008 on a Friday, and I started an insurance carrier on a Monday. And
Really?
especially back
Wow.
then, it was an environment where we wore dark suits and white shirts and ties, and it felt very similar to my service dress blues minus the ribbons. So that was right off the bat, it was comfortable. But I think that the insurance industry, the comparisons, it's a serious business. It's regulated. It's highly structured. It's analytical. There's a lot of things that translate from service and that structured, disciplined environment to working in the insurance industry.
And yeah, and it definitely makes a change. It's funny you mentioned, a lot of regulation and everything that comes around. And of course, in the military, you have the same thing, especially yourself coming from the whole nuclear background. So have you had the opportunity of either recruiting or working with other veterans, either from the carrier standpoint or working in different groups and committees like the PIA partnership? Of course, we have Ben Lynn there and a couple more. But have you had the opportunity to work or recruit people for your team?
Yeah, absolutely. At Hanover, I am the sponsor for our Veterans Business Resource Group. So it's a small but mighty group of veterans within the Hanover, and we work on recruiting veterans into the business, helping to tell the story, just like we're talking about today, of the good match between the type of people who are serving in the military, the skills they bring, the experiences, and how that translates. We help them translate into the insurance industry, mentoring the veterans within the business, and then of course a community service dimension to it of just being active in our community broadly, but specifically for veterans in our working communities.
That's awesome. Thank you guys for doing that. It's very, very valuable and I think it makes a huge difference. So one more thing, Brad. Is there anything or any remarks you would like to share with insurance professionals and veterans out there in honor of Veterans Day? Any words you would like to share with them?
Yeah, I did like you. I would echo the thanks. Every veteran has their own journey. There's so many different flavors of the service. But when we leave, Ben is a Marine. Had a very different experience in the Navy. I think there's a good home for people who with prior service in the insurance industry. There's a tight knit camaraderie of former service folks in the insurance industry, and I think we bring a lot to it. And there's a rewarding kind of second phase of your professional career after you hang up the active duty service. So
I
it's
agree.
I can't help but say I love working in the industry. I loved being in the Navy. It was awesome as a young man to get the opportunity to serve. But I think there's something, it's different, but there's also something special about working in the insurance industry. You're helping people. There's a purpose to it, and I think there's for the pitch we make to when we're recruiting is that there's a it's different, but there is a ton of rewarding opportunity in the insurance industry, and it's a good second phase of your career.
And you said it perfectly. I mean, we get to help people, and you know me, I'm as passionate as they come for the industry. So it is special. There's something there when we get to help people, help our communities, and at the end of the day, we have losses, we have catastrophes, and the insurance industry, you guys, insurance companies, us insurance agents, we get to rebuild America, right? In many different ways, and there's honor in that as well. So definitely you coming from the military background, make things better. So thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate you. And I can't thank you enough for your service.
Thank you, Ariel.
And I
It's
look forward to
good to
seeing
be
you
with you.
very soon.
Yeah.